Welcome back to more of Final Fantasy 1 Pixel Remaster, generously provided to me by Square Enix. Last time, we cleared out the Chaos Shrine, got poisoned by werewolves, and defeated Garland and did not get knocked down by him. This time, we're going to be crossing this very important bridge. And seeing a cutscene. Well, that's kind of cool. So I guess it's like about, you know, we're leaving our original home behind, going out into the wider world, where things are probably going to obliterate us. And so their quest began. As the four warriors of light, they felt overwhelmed by the great task destiny had placed before them. They did not even know the true significance of the four crystals they held in their hands. The crystals that once, long ago, held a light that shone so brilliantly. The time for their journey had come. The time to cast off the veil of darkness and bring the world once more into light. You can tell the makers of this game also made Kingdom Hearts, but, you know, that was way, way later than this. Actually, like, when was this? This would have been like mid to late 80s. I don't think I would have been born when this game first came out, and then Kingdom Hearts was like the mid 2000s, I think. Ah, it's this music. Yeah, I had a feeling we'd start playing this eventually. Still love the rendition of this in 12. It's not in that many of the more modern Final Fantasy games, this song. I don't know if this scene is new or if it was kind of in... I'm guessing this is actually new. And I do know that there was a GBA re-release of Final Fantasy 1 that had some extra content that I don't think this version has, and that's a point of criticism I've seen for this version. A Hero's Journey. Shows Garland, even though we defeated him previously, but okay, so now we've crossed the first bridge, we're probably going to be seeing some more dangerous enemies, so this is about where we start needing to get a little worried. I probably should have stocked up on like more tents and stuff before I went, but anyway, let's face this big purple... I didn't even... Oh no. And so, the warrior's journey began, except they forgot to stay at the inn after defeating Garland, so they're gonna have to go back to town and do that, because I'm dumb. Or, they could all just get killed by a bunch of worms and ogres. Because that also tends to happen on these journeys. Who needs healing? Say you need healing. You've got a pretty decent chance of instantly dying to attacks here. I mean, there might be another town on the way, but I probably shouldn't take that chance. But I mean, right now I have a black mage with no magic, and that's generally a problem. You're at the point where your wizard needs a short rest, at least. I forget in terms of D&D lore how many spell slots you get back on a short rest. Maybe you don't even get any back on a short rest. Oh yeah, but we're way off our next level. Oh, Field Research Basic, okay. Is there like an enemy, like enemy sort of guide in this game? There might be on like the main menu, but... Anyway, what I'm going to do here is, I'm going to go ahead and use my one tent that I have, just to restore a few of my spells. And then I guess I'm going to bank on there being a town somewhere, somewhere through here. Okay, so we can go to the west. And it seems like there's quite a lot over... Actually, wait, no, there's not much to the west, because I was looking at that other part of the map that's blocked by mountains, so we can't actually go that way, that's just where we were before. So, instead, we're going to go over here. Doesn't really seem to be much up here, but maybe this is where the witch lives? Uh-oh. That's a lot of wolves. Hi there. Well, I mean, I'm pretty sure we should try and take out the wild wolf first, and... Oh, that tent only restored 2 spells. And I could tell that missed because there was no attack sound effect there. The rest of these wolves really shouldn't be that bad, though. Like, we can probably all afford to just kind of have the two mages gang up on one. Huh, white mage actually one-shots them. Well, sometimes, I guess. Yeah, I think that's actually been a thing in some of the games in the series, with white mages being actually somewhat decent at physical combat, at least compared to black mages. Though in a lot of later games, it was red mages who'd have more proficiency with physical weapons. Antidote can be useful. Oh, there's a cave here. Aha, this is actually where the witch lives. Okay. Hang on a second. Cancel and cancel and loan? Cancel and loan, okay. Yeah, so apparently she can't see without her eyeglass. Yes, exactly as I was saying. Stolen. Well, hopefully you don't think we stole it. But can we loot your stuff? Antidote, potion, and another potion. Well, yes, let's hope that you think these will help us on our quest. And I suppose us being prophesized heroes, it would make sense why random citizens let us into their houses and let us just take their stuff. But yeah, I'm guessing that we need to find an eyeglass and then go and bring it back to them. The worms are pretty strong, but I don't think I've seen one of these ogres hit me yet, but I'm guessing it will hurt a lot. So I'm going to go all in on attacking this ogre. Should I really use a spell on it? Probably not. Yeah, looks like the magic users barely do anything to the ogre, so they might be better served attacking the worm. They still don't do much, but it's better than one, at least. Does look like the ogres are very slow, though. So, like, that one didn't even get a turn before we killed it, so most likely, if you do let it get a turn, it will hurt you very badly. Oh, worth a good amount of experience, too. I suppose with forgetting to return to the inn to heal, I was just kind of thinking of a lot of newer RPGs tend to give you a full heal before, like, after major story milestones, such as, you know, rescuing the princess. So, yeah, I was just thinking along those lines. But no, this is back. I was about to say this is back at a time when RPGs were not merciful, but like at the same time, a lot of modern RPGs have some pretty brutal boss fights. It's generally like they've got a lot more brutal when it comes to strategy rather than, you know, just simply killing you with overleveled mobs. Okay. There's some stuff down there, but I think it just ends in mountains. I'm tempted to just walk on the desert and see if there are any new encounters. Oh, it's just the unicorns again. Hi there. I do like how the sprites actually show your character's casting if they're about to use a spell. Okay, there we go. I don't know if, like, if certain actions have different amounts of priority assigned to them or not, or if it's just like a... I get the feeling that, like, that agility affects the turn order, but there's also a little bit of randomness in it. Because I've seen TL go first a lot, but I've also seen others go first, so it kind of depends. And like his agility is not super high. Okay, so just going through a forest here. You can see just like a little strip of land up the top that I might want to explore. Here's another one of these ogres, so yeah, like I was saying before, I feel like if these things actually do hit you, then they will probably hit very hard. Well, I mean, it hit me, but yeah, apparently 3 is very hard. They do seem to have solid amounts of defense, though, at least if you don't get multi-hits on them. I don't know what the chance of multiple hits is, but it's probably related to your agility somehow. Like, again, I'm not really too well-versed with this kind of thing. In fact, now might be a good time to just talk about something. Strength 15, that's good. More intellect and more luck. And that is that, this is actually kind of a good game for me to do on a first time. Is that the Peninsula? I hope that's not the Peninsula of Power. If it is, I'm going to avoid it for now, because I might talk about that later, but that is definitely something about this game that I do know. But I'll finish my other story, is that, as far as, like, old-school RPGs go, I've actually watched a lot of Let's Plays and speedruns of the original Dragon Quest, but I have never seen a Let's Play or a speedrun of this game. And as I thought, there was a town down here. So, most of this, I'm like, oh, it's the pirate town. I was hoping this town wouldn't be hostile to me, but maybe it will be. Please help us! That's it, okay. Well, that guy looks like a pirate. Oh, no, he's not, okay. Right, there is an inn here, though. We should probably stay there first. Is there anybody else? Nope, nobody else in here. And as is generally the law of old school RPGs, the further into the game you go, the more the towns charge for inns. I don't know if there's any kind of, like, warp spell in this game that lets you go to other... Okay, those people look very piratey. Let's not talk to them just yet, because I feel like that would probably result in a fight. I do kind of like how only the relevant buildings actually let you enter them. Okay, you don't seem to have anything different to the shop at the first area, but I want to just check if there are any weapons and armor that I can buy here before I fight the pirates. I mean, you'd think they would have cleaned out those shops at this point, and took their stuff for themselves. Actually, maybe magic. Maybe it's better for me to go ahead and buy any new... Okay, Blind Nah, Silence, Null Shock. Oh, these things! They're in FF10! So, okay, this is probably such a weird experience for anybody who grew up with this game, but, like, I'm experiencing, like, reverse nostalgia here, because, I played the later games first. Like, 10 and 12 were the ones I grew up on, so I'm now playing Final Fantasy 1, and I'm like, oh, I know this spell from the later games. It's just such, again, it's like reverse nostalgia. Invis, raise one ally's evasion. Okay, so not just the caster's evasion. Maybe that might be somewhat useful? I mean, it's not like I have any other second level spells. For the entire party, that might actually be kind of useful if we encounter some enemies that are using thunder. I'm not really sure how useful silence is, but I mean, this is also kind of useful as well. Okay, before I spend money on those, I'm going to go ahead and see what kinds of black magic they have. Because there's definitely a black magic shop in this town. There we go. And also a weapon shop. Blizzard Dark. Oh, that's just blind. Okay. It's not like FF12 where it's an actual attacking spell. Temper. Oh, yeah, I remember that. That was like Tumper, TMPR. And was this the spell that didn't do anything in the original version of the game? I know there was a spell that was bugged and did nothing in the original NES version. Slow. Number of attacks. Maybe, I guess that means they don't get their turns less often. It just means they do less hits. That sounds less useful than it is in later FF games, because in later FF games, slow is amazing on whatever it works on, usually. I mean, I could get that maybe, but I also kind of want Blizzard. So I guess I'll take that. I mean, since almost every enemy uses physical attacks, I mean, I don't know how likely that is to hit, but I guess I'll take Dark. Yeah, I'm just, like, if this is... Like, if it affects how often they get their turn, then it's great, but if it just affects their hit count, then maybe not so much. I mean, I don't know what's good and what isn't, but I mean, I guess I could take this. I get the feeling that if Temper did actually work, it would be one of those things in the first game that could potentially overflow your attack and result in weird things happening. I know that was the case in a lot of early games. So I've got Invis already. I mean, I feel like Curing Darkness might actually be kind of a useful effect to have. It would save me on buying certain things. And a lot of later games, I would have a whole lot of Monster Pass to sell for money, but I don't. So, yeah, that's not the case here. Let's just see what they sell in terms of weapons. Hammer, and everything else is... Oh, yeah, okay, so this is definitely the point where we're probably going to need to start grinding for money to afford better weapons, because I feel like that's kind of how things go when it comes to this game. Like, you sort of need to keep your equipment up to date. Okay, we can't enter this house. Oh, I had a feeling it would be a church. I wonder how they handled these in the original, because I know that, like, in the NES version, Nintendo was still censoring religious references, so I know they had to call holy white or pearl or other things, and they were censoring, like, anything remotely violent or mentions of death as well, so kind of wonder how, like, the church worked in those games. Okay, we can get iron... We can get shields now. And we can get leather gloves, okay. We do have enough to afford gloves for both mages and a leather shield for the warrior, so let's go ahead and do that. Let's give Cetro a shield. And let's give you leather... What was your evasion? But, like, we've got 1 defense, so... I'd probably rather take that. Like, it's only 1% less evasion. And also, I just realized that we can't save while we're in a town. So, I'm gonna have to head outside to save before I talk to the pirates. They did say that we might be able to borrow a ship from them, but it seems a little bit early. Then again, I get the feeling this isn't a particularly long game. You guys have an actual name. Also, you say the exact same thing. Well, that's a lot of enemies. Okay, hi there, massive number of pirates. I wonder if now might be a good time to try out that blind spell. I don't know if... do we need this? I'm gonna try it just in case. And again, let's see. Dark. Okay, they are still pretty weak. Okay, so there's an alternate animation for blocking with a shield, I guess? Like, yeah, maybe it's like an evade increase. Wow, that came out really slowly. That spell. So it said miss on one of them, so that guy, so maybe, yeah, maybe that guy didn't get blinded, but everyone else did. Oh, that's cool. That's actually really cool that we actually do go invisible when you cast the invis spell. And I don't think it's like, you know, it breaks when attacking. Yeah, maybe that's just like what happens when you have a shield equipped. Just reminds me of, like, from what I've heard of Final Fantasy VI, that a lot of shields were kind of useless because at least in the original release of the game, they did fix this in all the re-releases, because but like due to a bug, only magic, like physical evasion was useless, and magic evasion counted for both physical and magic evasion. Okay, so your attacks automatically seem to redirect to the closest enemy, which is kind of annoying because I was really hoping that I would save the guy who wasn't blinded for last. It seems like there wasn't really much of a physical indicator of that enemy not being blinded, though. Other than the fact, like, let me rephrase that. There was no physical indicator. Really? You drop an item that I just bought. I hate when that happens. Oh no! It was our bones that went crunch! I guess. Wait, really? This early? Really? Yeah, now I'm glad that I didn't actually... that I'm not totally blind, but I'm blind on a lot of things in this game. He just gave us his ship. Simple NES RPG plots. You come into a town, fight one fight, and then suddenly the pirate turns good and everyone in town is safe again. Oh, okay, so yeah, you do need to remember, ports. And you're saying exactly the same thing. Yeah, you can... I can now I can see why that, do I even have enough gold? I mean, gil. Oh, actually, I have quite a lot of gil now. And I'm gonna sell the shield too, I think. But, yeah, I can tell why that, I almost called it a manga, but I think it's a webcomic, made that joke about Welcome to Corneria, because, yeah, we've got a lot of NPCs here who are just saying the same kinds of stuff. We needn't fear the pirates anymore, but we do fear NPCs blocking the alleyway so I can't get to the item shops. Because I kind of want... Okay, that wizard-looking guy wasn't there before. I'm gonna go ahead and see if I can sell the, leather shield for almost nothing. I can afford... no, I can't even afford any of those. I think I'd rather get the broadsword than the scimitar. I think I'm going to save up for one of those, actually. Now, I'll go back and check to see if there's any armor that my, Could you please stop that. Please move up. Up. There we go. Well, actually, you moved to the right, but still, it served the purpose that I needed. I think you were there before. Elves living across the sea. Oh, I think I did remember something about an elf who was asleep, who needed to have something to cure them from that. So what are you saying? Melmond, a town far to the west. The earth rots and monsters attack in the night. Okay, well, we are the proper-sized heroes. We should go and take care of that. But, after we've taken care of... Yeah, right now, the main thing on our agenda is getting the glass eye for the witch. And we already have now... Though, if I know my old-school RPGs, I know that often the random encounters on the sea... Also, that's what these things are. They're ports, okay? But yeah, the random encounters on the sea are usually infinitely more dangerous than the ones on the land. Like... Usually the moment that you get a ship, you can just sail anywhere and you just get a bajillion really bad encounters. But I might be able to head to the more western part of the land with this ship, but at the same time, I should probably check out more of this part of the continent first. I kind of want to... Oh, hi there. Oh, hi there, enormous horde of enemies. Yeah, see, this is where having, like, area spells would be effective, but I'm not sure if we really get those in this game at all. I mean, those do say to one enemy, so maybe there are spells that target multiple enemies eventually. Okay, that took a while, but darkness is kind of useful. But now I think about it, I kind of want to test to see whether this is the Peninsula of Power. I don't know if it is or not. Well, yeah, these things are definitely, like, earlier game enemies. So, I know about, like, I know what the Peninsula of Power is, but I'm not sure exactly where it is. So what the Peninsula of Power is it's a peninsula on the world map that is just barely within the radius of the random encounter zone for a much later game area. And because of that, the enemy encounters in the Peninsula of Power, okay, yeah, that's definitely not, a higher level set of enemies. The random encounters on, like, just a few tiles of the Peninsula of Power happen to be very, very strong, and you can level up very quickly by fighting enemies there. I don't know if this is the Peninsula of Power. It probably isn't now I think about it. But, yeah, no, it looks like these are all just early game encounters. They have, from what I've heard, they kept it in pretty much every prior re-release, but I don't know if they would have fixed it in this one or not. I mean, they might have fixed it in this version, but a lot of the time they just, yeah, they kept it because they just, like, it was just kind of a cool thing that people did. And while it was technically a glitch, having it ascend to become a feature just was sort of a nod to, you know, all those people who used to grind there. Okay, so you do pretty decent damage to monks, just not so much to warriors. Anyway, I'm recording ahead, so, I mean, at this point, like, yeah, later on people will probably be telling me in the comment sections what the Peninsula of Power actually is. Ghast. Okay, they look pretty much the same as the ghouls, but different name means probably, means that I can show what this does for the first... Oh, it's multi-hitting too. That's cool. Oh, I need to probably equip the rapier. Okay, they do survive a full round of combat from... Oh, great, we're both stunned. That looks cool, though. Thank you for that! That could have been really bad if you hadn't done that. Okay, so, right, let me see. Also, I have a lot more money now. I can probably afford the better weapons. Yeah, let's stop using the knife now. Let's switch over to the rapier. Kind of surprised I've been getting by on just the knife for so long. So it looks like we can't go any further this way. Maybe this is the Peninsula of Power. Oh, hi, ambush. Seems like I have a different weapon sprite for the rapier as well, which is cool. I wouldn't be surprised if that was part of the original game, weapons having different sprites, because you only see them for like a few frames anyway. It wouldn't be that much of a stretch for them to make unique animations for all of them. And by animations, I mean just like a few frames. Yeah, it's like, honestly, I just kind of expect people to start like learning skills or things like that, but don't really get any of that in this. It's mostly just equipment and wargwolves. Yes, wargwolves. I get the feeling that actually the Peninsula of Power is like to the south of somewhere, not north, but... Oh, okay, you're new. Scorpions. What could you be weak to? Let me see, Cure kind of sucks at this point, I'll just have to attack. Firstly, I'm just going to try to blind everyone. I get the feeling these things can probably poison you. Okay, that hits pretty hard. Ah, missed two of them. Of course, it missed the ones that are about to attack. Right, these things are actually pretty dangerous. Should I attempt to run away here? Or should I brave this? Because Cure, like again, Cure sucks at this point. Yeah, I'm going to attempt to just run. Yeah, well, down he goes. And gone. Okay, I'm going to have to pay the church, which is probably going to be more expensive than the previous area, because that's just kind of how they work in these games. The further you get in terms of towns, the more expensive they hike their prices. Hi there. Buy there, please. Yeah, less characters like left standing means less chances to run, which is also a problem. But I have a lot of gil to spend on more weapons and the like. I've got over 1,000. But before we do anything else, so now I know that you resurrect. There is a church in this town. I was wondering if there wasn't one, but yeah, that you resurrect before you go to the inn. Yep, as I thought. As I thought, more expensive. They just keep hiking their prices. Like, do these places have some kind of, like, adventure tax where it's like, the further you, like, you need to show them where your hometown is, and the further away it is from your hometown, the higher their prices go? That must be how these work. I would like that broadsword. For, yeah, much better stats in that regard. Don't think I really want a scimitar or a battle axe, though. Because I'm just trying to think about how, yeah, it is kind of cool how in this game, you can play the game differently depending on what characters you choose. Like, you could choose an entire warrior or an entire monk party and, yeah, do things that way. I don't have slow. Maybe I should... I guess I have to unequip something if I buy that. I sort of wanted to buy it for later, but, maybe you actually have to pay if you want to replace your spell loadouts. Now, was there a white magic spell that I didn't get? Oh, right, yeah, I was considering Null Shock. I'm gonna go ahead and take Null Shock. Just in case there's like an, because I know there are the 4 elemental fiends. I don't know if any of them use thunder, though. Maybe the Fiend of Wind would use thunder. Because there isn't really any wind magic in this game, I don't think. Like, unless Arrow exists. Maybe Arrow does exist in this game. You, please move. Yeah. I don't know, to anyone who played the original, was this guy this bad in the original game? Come on. Yeah, I have a feeling his movement is random too, and not in a pre-scripted cycle. Oh, actually, wait a minute. Is there a... Oh, I can get through this way. Okay, good. He's not blocking my only route. That's good. Because he's still blocking it. Yeah. Right. So, yeah, you don't have to wait for him. Thankfully. It's just like... it's just the little things that amuse me in these games sometimes. Anyway, though. Can't afford the iron armor yet. But I also just thought that, like, I should probably invest in some ethers. 1 MP for each magic level. Okay, that probably means they get more efficient the more magic levels you get. Because, like, right now, we don't really have any level 3 or 4 spells, so it's not going to be doing that much there. But, I mean, a 10's actually better for restoring MP at this point, maybe. Because they restore 2 spell levels, and they cost about as much as an ether, and they also restore HP. Like, the downside is you can't use them during a battle, but, like, in general, it's sort of outside of battle that I tend to be using most of my, that I tend to want spells back. But, I mean, you know, those could be famous last words. I could get in a situation where I'm like, yeah, I really need extra cures right now, and then I don't have any ethers, and then that happens. By that, I mean, like, painful death. But, yeah, with that, we actually have a ship, and we defeated the pirates surprisingly easily, and we explored a little bit of this part of the continent. So next time, I think I'm going to actually try heading a bit south before I get on the ship, because I want to see what's down there before I resort to exploring the ocean, where the monsters will probably be brutal. So I'll see you all then.